Less than 1% of the entire Escape from Tarkov player base has completed the ticket and escaped via the terminal. The last reported number of players to complete the ticket was 15,743. I think we can do better than that, so let's see if we can bump those numbers up. Hi team, I'm Ghost and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I will be going over everything you need to know in order to conquer the terminal map in Escape from Tarkov 1.0 and actually escape from Tarkov. There have been a lot of updates to the AI behaviors and the mechanics here since release, so I want to cover it all so you can be successful here and get the ending that you're after. Timestamps are going to be below. This is not a guide for how to complete a specific storyline. This video is just about how to prepare and what to do when you finally make it to the terminal. Let's get into it. Section 1. Before you go, you must prepare. Regardless of what ending you're going for, once you are finally given the green light to head to terminal, the first thing I recommend you do is pump the brakes. I did not have max crafting by the time I unlocked terminal, and so it took about 4 hours just to craft a single access card. Trust me on this one guys, you are going to want to have a lot of keycards available so you can keep running it back to back. I believe I had somewhere between 10 to 15 terminal access keycards ready to go before my first attempt. Being time gated by Battlestate games really sucks. When you actually get the time to play, you want to play. Preparing all these keycards before I started to do my terminal runs enabled me to keep trying over and over until we finally got it. The next thing you're going to want to do is build somewhere between 3 to 5 full terminal kits and just keep them in your stash. Easily the most frustrating thing about terminal is that you need to transit there from Shoreline. If you're eliminated inside of the terminal, you will end up back in your stash with all of your equipment just as it was when you transited there, minus your access keycard and storyline items. If you are eliminated on Shoreline, you know the deal, you probably lost everything, so having a few kits pre-built and multiple access cards will allow you to run it back to back in case you get down before you make it. Now there are some ways you can minimize this happening to you. Take a look at the screen here. If you spawn anywhere inside of this part of the map, I recommend you just extract and reset. You are so far away from the terminal entrance that the risk of dying and losing your meta gear is too great. You never know if there's a 3, 4, or 5 stack headed your way, maybe they're on their way to Labyrinth. It's better to just reset your Shoreline run and run it back hoping for a better spawn. Now let's get into my recommended loadouts. I'm going to share a quick disclaimer before we talk about this, and you're probably going to think I'm insane. But it is entirely possible to complete terminal with essentially a 0 to hero loadout. And trust me, I wish I had thought of this before I escaped, but the thought came later. Such is life, I guess. Next time I go to terminal, I will be doing a 0 to hero run, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. For now, I will give you guys the most meta, the most optimized, the most prepared loadout I can think of, so you can go in like a tank. Let's start with the body armor. And for that, I recommend bringing the 6B45 body armor. Make sure you put tier 6 plates all around this thing. This is going to keep you relatively safe against the scavs, but know that no armor really is going to protect you from the Black Division since they're all running the best ammo types. If either of your plates gets destroyed while in the raid, you can simply swap them out for Black Division plates because they usually wear tier 5 or 6 as well. Next up is your rig. Guys, I'm old school. I like to use the black rock because I think it looks sick. Your rig isn't as important as your armor, just make sure it's big, you're going to need the space. For your helmet, I recommend bringing the Ronin Respirator. This thing wraps your whole head in tier 4 armor with a high ricochet chance. Again, this won't really save you from the Black Division, but it will protect you from those shotgun scavs running around, and that's not really how you want to die at the terminal. Next, you're going to want to throw a set of quad nods on top of the Ronin. You can only go to terminal between 2100 and 0600, so you will need the night vision to navigate. The terminal map is pretty bright due to all of the spotlights, but there are a few occasions where the Black Dave will spawn in the darkness, and so bringing quad nods will make it easier to spot them. The best ears that you can wear with the Ronin are the Sens Pro Flex DX5 tactical earplugs. Don't forget your ears. Next, you're going to need a backpack in order to carry important stuff while on terminal, such as spare tier 6 plates when you come across them, meds, provisions, stuff like that. I recommend something like either a beta or tri-zip. You won't need anything larger than that, you aren't going to terminal to loot. Now for meds, this section of gear, like the weapon, is going to be a little bit subjective, but I will share what worked for me. Now I did try bringing a grizzly, but was not a fan of how long it kept taking to heal everything. Therefore, I recommend bringing one Salewa, a Calic, 2 full ibuprofens, 2 injector cases, an emergency AFAC, and a TIGS Rescue 7 out of 7 splint. In your special slots, you're going to want to have a full serve 12 to do surgeries if you need to. Inside of the injector case, I brought a couple SJ6s, some ETGs, some Zagustins, and some Propitols. This combination of stims worked really well for me. If you guys found any others helpful to bring along, let us know in the comments down below. After running terminal a few times, I found there are tons of meds laying around. The devs were graceful here, and it's very easy to restock on meds when you need to. Next up is the grenades. I recommend bringing approximately 6 or 7 M67 grenades. Not for the meme, but because these are going to be used to give yourself intel and to make the black div reposition. I would discourage bringing VOGs or anything with a short fuse. You want these things to have a longer flight time. In the special slots, you will have one serve 12, your terminal access card, and this little baby here. This is an SZ1 explosive charge. You can find these on the flea market, usually for a couple million rubles. If you bring one of these, it will save you a massive headache of trying to find one inside the raid. We'll cover how to find these later in case you can't buy one. Speaking of saving yourself time, make sure you bring one tool set in your secure container as well. You're going to need the tool set to repair a panel. You don't necessarily need a tool set, and you can find tool sets on terminal, but why not just bring it and spare yourself some headache? Now for the last piece of kit we need to discuss, and that is your weapon and mags. I'm going to give you what I consider to be the meta here, so run it if you can afford it. If you cannot afford it or want a challenge, don't worry, just go in with what you can, and you can peel better weapons and ammo off the
cold, dead, lifeless bodies of your enemies trapped forever in the eternal hellscape that is Tarkov.
Excuse me. On the left, you can see the M4 I recommend, and on the right, you can see the X17. Both of these are great, but if I had to pick just one, I would 100% recommend the M4. You're not going to want to waste time repacking tons and tons of mags while on terminal. Some of the Black Div will have meta M4s with M995 in their mags, so you could just grab those and throw them in your rig instead of wasting time repacking. Regardless of which choice you go with, I just recommend bringing a lot of high capacity magazines. And just know that no matter how much ammo you bring, it probably won't be enough, and you're going to need to grab ammo off the Black Division anyway. You may have noticed both weapons are loud. That is because the durability burn of using suppressors could lead to your gun jamming if you're spraying a lot. Hear me out. If you're going to focus more on head tapping, which I highly recommend by the way, then you should go suppressed. Tarkov has a real muzzle flash problem, and you won't need to deal with that if your weapon is suppressed. Also, if you do find that your weapon is starting to jam in the terminal, you can just pick up a Black Division weapon and throw your attachments on there. Their weapons seem to come almost at full durability. Section 2. Navigating Shoreline and transiting to the terminal. As I mentioned earlier, the worst part of this entire experience is the fact that you cannot just load directly into the terminal. You're going to need to load into Shoreline and run all the way to the transit area located just here on the map. As mentioned earlier, if you spawn anywhere inside of this large circle, just do yourself a favor and reset. Just head to the Red Rebel or the Lighthouse Extract to get out. You do not want to waste your time running all the way across Shoreline. Now you can only transit to terminal between the hours of 2100 and 0600. I would usually start my terminal runs around 2100 in-game so I could get a few runs back to back before the sun comes up. Once you get to terminal, don't bother talking to the man, just swipe your keycard and head down the road towards the gate. Make sure you stay to the left and stay on the road. Once you get close enough, your weapon will lower automatically without you doing anything. Just follow the prompts to the transit and chill behind the barricade. Do not take your weapon back out at any point here. If you do, you're going to be gunned down. Congratulations, the first part is done. Now when you load into terminal, you will be greeted by a cutscene. After the cutscene concludes, you will find yourself in a waiting room. Use this moment to look around and see if there are any other players in there with you. If you want to try to escape with them, you should use this moment to VoIP them and offer to work together. While doing that, make sure you grab some meds. I recommend a Salewa, CMS, painkillers, and a splint at a minimum. It's also a good idea to grab some food and some bottles of water. After a little bit, you'll hear some explosions and another cutscene will play. Basically what's happening is a scav boss and some scavs from Tarkov are attacking the terminal. Once the cutscene is over, there are now no more cutscenes until you extract from the terminal. Section 4 and mission objective number 1, get to the Armory. Your first objective at terminal is to grab a key to unlock the door where your gear is being held inside of the Armory. Once the door to the waiting area is unlocked, head outside and grab a weapon and some magazines. Here is an important moment. If you are going to work with the other players that spawned with you, just move on towards the Armory. If you've decided you're going to betray them, now is the best time to do it since they're unarmed and undergeared. For the sake of this video, let's assume you're either solo or going to work with them. Once you grab a weapon, pop a fresh magazine inside there and begin heading towards the Armory. The soldiers you will see standing around are friendly, so do not shoot them, just shoot the scavs that you see. If you run all the way up to this fan, you'll be able to see the entire scav wave coming your way and shoot them through the window to avoid taking any damage. Once those scavs are dealt with, you can push on up to the next fence. Another couple scavs will spawn in and run at you from the left. Quickly dispatch them and then go and grab the key to the armory. You can find the key by searching the body on the corner of the armory. Once you get the key, head inside. These AI inside here are friendly, so don't shoot any of them. Just unlock the door, go inside, and then shut the door behind you. If you are doing the savior ending, make sure you grab the case that's on top of the desk to the left, and then go and grab your gear from one of the lockers. I believe your gear used to always be on the locker on the left, but that doesn't seem to be the case now, so you may need to search a few. Once you are geared up and situated, congratulations, you completed the first objective. Section 5, mission objective number 2, get the Black Division keycard from the Seaport Terminal building. Your next objective is to grab the Black Div keycard from the weapons case located inside of the Seaport building. As soon as you're ready, you can open up the door. You may have to take out some scavs if the friendly AI were not able to deal with them. After that, you will need to trigger the first wave of the Black Division. You can do so by exiting the building through the door you entered from and heading to the corner of the building on your left. Quick peek around the corner until you see some Black Division on the far side of the road. You can just throw some pop shots their way and then fall back to the armory because they're about to push you. Just fall back inside the door and do a right angle peek to get them all. A total of 8 Black Division will always spawn. If you are unable to take them down as they charge, they will surround the building and fight the other AI. Just throw some grenades out of the door to trigger a voice line or get them to reposition if you're not sure where they are. After you are confident they're all dead, push on out and run across the road to the Seaport Terminal building. The door you want to go in is on the right side behind the bus. Beware, the AI will not just let you right angle peek them anymore. They will constantly throw grenades at you if you're chilling in the entrance. Although it seems like the grenades will not make it through the door, they can, and this is one of the reasons I failed an attempt. When you think they're all dead, just throw a grenade inside to confirm it. If all the Black Div have been taken out, grab the key card from the weapons case inside the building and to the right. Section 6, mission objective number 3, use the Black Division key card to unlock the door to the next area. Now that we have the Black Division keycard, we will need to use it to access the next section of the map. Head out of the Seaport Terminal building and stay to the right. Cross the road and go through the fence and down the alleyway. Now you have a few choices here. Some Black Div will spawn at the end of the alleyway. You can choose to fight them or you can choose to sneak by. The decision is going to be yours. If you want to fight them, I recommend pushing up to the truck all the way at the end of the alleyway, right angle peek them and try to pick some off. They will push you, allowing you to dispatch them one at a time. Note that they will also try to wrap around the left side of the truck, so be aware of your surroundings. If you want to skip them, just throw a grenade that lands just shy of their position and they will fall back, allowing you to run down the alleyway and go through the double doors on the right. Once you get inside, swipe the keycard and this will lead to your next area. Close the door behind you to stop the scav wave from pushing you from the rear. You can use this moment to repack mags and heal, but be aware that the scav wave on the other side can push into this elbow and attack you. Section 7, mission objective number 4, get through the metal door. Congratulations, you have reached the halfway point. Note that this hallway isn't entirely safe. I believe maybe it used to be, but in multiple runs, I always had scavs enter the hallway from the far side and ambush me while trying to use a serve kit or repack mags. Just keep your guard up in here. Now when you are ready to go, head out of the other end of the elbow and exit the hallway. Your next objective will be to get through the metal door. While you are working your way over here, make sure you check the 2 panels on the right to see if they're broken. On any of these panels, if the light is on, the panel is fine, but if the door is ajar, they will need to be repaired with a tool set. Now there are 3 easy ways to get through this metal door and 1 very hard way. The cheapest and easiest way to overcome this obstacle is just to have a teammate with you. If both of you approach the door, follow the prompts and you'll be able to use your combined strength to pull the door open and progress. Note that if your strength skill is maxed out to elite, then you can just pull the door open by yourself. The next easiest way to overcome the metal door is to just bring an explosive device with you into the raid. If you do that, you can simply approach the door, place the explosive, back up, and watch it blow. Now if you don't have a teammate, elite strength, and didn't bring any explosives with you, then you will need to push into 2 squads of Black Division at the end of the alleyway in order to then search for an explosive charge. The easiest way I found to fight these Black Div is to move into the small storage area to the right and just get behind the boxes. Note that once you do engage these Black Div, they tend to push you very aggressively and can even flank behind your rear, so keep your guard up. Once they're all dealt with, just move into the back area by the 10 and begin searching for your explosive charge. There are 7 possible places the charge can spawn. Pictured on your screen right now is a map showing each location. Also, now that you have cleared the area of Black Division and you have your explosive charge, you may as well check the 2 panels in this area to see if they need to be repaired. The first one is over by the tent and looks like this, and the second one is on the other side of the fence behind the metal door and looks like this. To reach this one, you're going to need to go through the door you just blew up and wrap around the building. Anyways, once you get your hands on the explosive, just place it on the door, then back up and watch it blow. Congratulations, you are free to move on to your next objective. Section 8, mission objective number 5, get the key to unlock the door to the pier. Once you get through the metal door, you are free to let your guard down a little bit since all you'll be dealing with for a few minutes are scavs. There are 2 black div guards that will spawn at the far end of the silos, but if you leave them alone, they are typically eliminated by the AI scavs. Now head right after you exit the metal door and just keep maneuvering and staying to the right as much as you can. You will need to go up and over a few flights of stairs and pass by multiple silos, just keep on going. Once you reach the end and are walking on water in a flooded area, you have reached your objective, the pumping station. There is a final panel that you need to check on the door right outside of it. Remember, if the light is green, you're good, but if the door is open, it needs to be repaired. Once you go inside the pumping station, if the broken terminal has been repaired, just press the button and wait a second for the water to drain. After that, head all the way to the back and loot the safe for a key. This will be your key to enter the final stretch of the map and head to the extract. After multiple runs, I found the inside of the pumping station to be perfectly safe. Feel free to take this time to repack mags, eat and drink, re-stim, anything you need to do. Section 9, mission objective number 6, open the door to the pier and extract. You are now ready to progress to the home stretch. Note that for this whole section, you basically just want to stay to the right as much as possible. Exit the pumping station and stay to the right and follow it all the way along the wall. Now be careful when turning this corner. If you never engage the 2 black div or they haven't been killed by the AI, they will be waiting for you at the end of the long road. Once the path is clear, move all the way down the road until you can take a right and then go all the way down and follow it until there's a spot in the fence where you can breach. Once you find the breach point, head on through and once again stay to the right until you reach the tents. Underneath the tents, you're going to find some meds, stims, and other various items like food here. Feel free to top everything up real quick before pressing on if you need to. Note that up next, you will need to fight a random scav boss as well as some more black div. The scav boss is totally randomized. It can either be Glukar, Killa, Rashala, Sanitar, or Tagilla. They're also going to be spawning with their guards. After you leave the tent, I recommend pushing left across the road to get behind some hard cover against the wall. You can either peek them, fire some shots, or try throwing some grenades in order to aggro the scav boss and the black div. Once they're aggroed, they should funnel down the road towards you and you can easily deal with them. Be aware the scav bosses can also come at you through the alleyway directly to your left. I had this happen to me twice actually when the random scav boss was Tagilla. Alright, once the black div and scav boss are dealt with, just stay to the right again. This was going to provide you with the most amount of cover from the black div spawns. Once you get down to the end of the pier, just take a right and get ready to fight the next wave of black div. To handle this situation, I recommend aggroing the black div and then falling back and going for a right angle peek in the alleyway. Once they're dealt with, head to the door that leads to the pier. Do not unlock this door until you're completely ready to go for the final run to the extract. Once the door is opened, you only have 3 minutes to reach the extract and complete the raid. The most important thing to note for this final part of the raid is that the Black Division soldiers will spawn close to you on the pier, but all the way down at the end of the pier by the extract, a squad of RUAF soldiers are going to spawn in. The RUAF are friendlies and you need to make sure you do not engage them. What we typically did on our playthroughs was just wait a minute and the RUAF soldiers would actually clean up the Black Div. Once that is done, just sprint all the way to the end of the pier and get near the entrance of the boat and your extract timer will begin. Congratulations, you have completed Terminal and Escape from Tarkov. And that is your complete terminal guide for Escape from Tarkov 1.0. If this guide helped you out, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Tarkov content. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about Terminal. To me, the entire Terminal experience feels a lot like a 45-minute Elden Ring boss fight. Very cool, very fun, high stakes, absolutely loved it. Also, if you guys are looking for teammates to run raids with, feel free to join our Discord. There's a bunch of people in there always looking to squad up. The link to the Discord is in the description. And as always, thanks for watching. I'm Ghost, and I'll see you in the next raid.